Hi friends, hello, how are you today? I hope that today finds you well. Today I am doing my next update on my Project Pan, Team Project Pan 2021, and you all, I have finished so many products. You guys, there's like 8 products here that I've finished since I came to you 2 months ago. So here's the true tea also. I remember at the end of that video, or as I was rewatching that video actually to prep for this video, I said at the end of that video, I'm going to start putting my empties on Instagram. Follow me over there. Please follow me over there so that I can start putting my empties on there, because I feel weird not coming to you and updating you when I have an empty. And I didn't do it. So I'm going to try to remember that is what we're doing. I didn't do it because it's not part of my process typically, but I'm gonna try and remember in the future that is what we're doing here. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, I do hope that you keep watching. For those of you who are new here, my name is Donna, and I am a lover of all things colorful, high-end beauty, and self-care. I do a lot of palette reviews on this channel. I do a lot of miscellaneous makeup chatter. I do some project pans. I would love to have you in my wonderful little YouTube family here. I am, and can be, your perfect partner in crime, the one that's going to be out here rooting you on and telling you you do you boo, because we all need to do what soothes our soul. I'm out here doing what soothes my soul, and I want to be the person that can cheer you on when you are also soothing your soul, and no matter what makes your soul happy. For me, that happens to be colorful beauty, and for you, that could be also colorful beauty. No matter the age, I am of an age that they're telling me that I shouldn't be doing these kind of things, but I am doing them, and so can you. I also think that you'll find that I'm pretty much a kick in the pants. With that said, let me show you these things because I am so excited about them. But here's the true tea. I've confused myself with the way I'm working it right now, and I need to figure out how to work this better for myself. One thing I'm super grateful for is that I did have a commenter the last time I did this say that I might want to start weighing my items in grams. So I did start weighing everything in grams. So every weight I give you in this one is going to be in what it weighed in ounces, but also what it weighed in grams, so that we can start here and move forward in grams. With that said, I'm going to go through the items that I was able to empty since the last update, and then I'm going to show you the products that I still have in my project, because I cannot remember, and I didn't write it down for whatever reason. I typically do. I cannot remember when a product rolled out and what product I rolled in its place. I promise to be better at this. Let's talk about the exciting stuff, and then I'll tell you what we're left with, what we have left. All right, so first things first, this was probably the most exciting thing for me because it was one of 2 things in this project that I put in and hate panned because I just didn't like this item. Those of you who are not new here, you know this. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation, and I did get this from my friend JC, who I gave money at one point in time, and she bought me a full face at drugstore because I don't dabble in drugstore. This was one of the foundations that she brought me. She did bring me 2 in that instance, and I loved the other one, L'Oreal Fresh Wear. This one I absolutely couldn't stand. I don't like the smell of it. It does look beautiful on your skin though, so if you can get past the smell of this, you would probably absolutely love this. And for those of you who do love it, put it down in the comments section so that everybody's not just hearing my words saying this is garbage. This is in the shade Soft Beige, and I didn't like this foundation, so I'm super excited that it is now out of my collection. And I know that it still looks full. Why do glass jars of foundation never look empty like the squeezy tubes of foundation? I will never know that. If you know why foundation likes to stick to the sides of glass jars, let me know. But I do know it's empty because I was tipping it over and dumping it out onto a palette in order to get the rest of the stuff out of the bottle. So it is gone. So happy to have that out of my collection. The next thing, so exciting but also bittersweet, is this guy here. This is the Buxom Full On Lip Cream in Dolly, and I did finish this guy up. Again, exciting because I think it's the very first full-size lip gloss that I've ever emptied, but also very bittersweet because I love Buxom lip glosses, and this was one of my favorites for sure. The next thing that I emptied was this Milani eyeshadow primer. I do think that this was rolled in the last update, and I was able to finish it. It had been a product that had already been opened in my collection. I had already been using in my collection, and I did roll it in, and then I used it up and then rolled in another eye primer. And this is just a sample size of the ABH eye primer. It's like 0.02 ounces of product or something like that, nothing much. But I also finished up this one, which is why there's 9 products here. There's not wholeheartedly 9 new items in that, but there's a lot of newness. The next thing I was able to finish is this. It is the Righteous Butter by Soap and Glory. And I ended up finishing it, or how I ended up finishing it, I should say, is by putting in some of this L'Oreal Lumi Glotion and using this on my legs more than anything else. Especially now that we're in the season that my legs are showing more because of skirts or, you know, shorts when I'm at home. This is so fragrant. It like straight up perfume is what it smells like. I would never repurchase this. It also says that it is for very dry skin, and I didn't feel like it was hydrating at all. And I think a lot of that maybe has to do with the fragrance in it. I feel like the fragrance just dries out, makes my skin feel parched. With my hands, it was helping with my hands for a short period of time, and then it just stopped helping with my hands and actually kind of exacerbated the dryness of my hands. So I quit using it for the longest time, and then started using it on my legs with that glotion in there to make my legs look, you know, healthy and a wee bit sparkly as I started wearing shorts more. The next thing I was able to finish is this, the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. You guys, that is used up all the way, pressed up. That is what it looks like. I did dig it out and put it into another container so that I was able to use the rest of it, and I really did like the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. I would replace it in my collection if I didn't have so many going on right now. I actually found it really super simple to blend. It was a really great color for my skin tone. I really felt like it looked great on my skin. It didn't exacerbate any kind of texture issues or anything like that, so I did love that product. I also finished up the Becca Capri Coast bronzer, and I actually finished this before the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick, and when I was done with this guy, this is the component that I ended up digging the Quickie Contour Stick out and putting in, because it was just easy to put a brush into and get the Quickie Contour Stick on my brush, and I finished it up while it was in this container. So then I have this Living Proof TBD Multi-Styling Tasker. It's a styling cream for your hair. It is Living Proof. You'll know I feel like Living Proof kind of smells like pepper, but this one was the lesser of all the evils as far as I'm concerned with Living Proof. This one smells a little less like pepper, and it worked really good in my hair. There's no complaints about this item at all. I just don't know if you can still pick this up. I think they went to the 5-in-1 process and maybe no longer have this item for sale. I'm not sure, but if they do, I'll definitely link it down in my description box. But happy to have all the samples out of my collection for sure. And this is an item that I rolled in last time that I was like, it's going to take me a while to get through that because I don't hardly ever use concealer. Well, what I have to say about this product is it's so heavy that I didn't end up using it as concealer. When I was done with this, I ended up using it as foundation, which is how I went through it super fast. It's not my favorite. I absolutely could not stand it, but it is gone, and that makes me happy because of the way I felt about it while I was using it. I remember at one point in time absolutely loving and swearing by and maybe even recommending this product, and I could tell you now, I feel like it's really oily. I think that is, I found myself powdering my face with this on, and I don't use powder. Those of you not new here, you know that. I don't use powder. I have a ton of powder in my collection, thank God, because I did use it when I was using this on my face, but it's so oily, or feels oily. I don't know if it's oily, but it feels oily for sure. This is in the light medium shade, and I won't repurchase this. I do remember this being my holy grail though at one point in time. I won't repurchase it. So those are the 9 items that I was able to finish. So now let's talk about what's left. I had another eye primer sample by ABH, another one of the ABH eye primer samples, and I did roll that guy in. I also started marking everything that I have in my project pan with this orange marker so that I can see it and tell it when it's in my like shop my stash rotation that is a project pan item. But I had a secondary one, so I did put this one in. It's just marked at the top because it's full as far as I know. I know I had used this one in the past, but I'm not sure if I have used this one in the past, so I'm pretending like it's full, and I'm not going to open it up and start squeezing on it to like get all the air out of it because product comes out when you do that. So the first time I open it up and use it, I'll see if I can't like really gauge where it's at, but I did weigh it, and it does come in at 4 grams, so we'll see the usage that way, probably more so than we will the container. I know it was super hard when I had this one in there to try and like find out where the product really sat in the container because it is kind of full of air, and when you try and squirt some of the air out, product comes out with it, and I just don't want to waste the product. That's not what project panning is about. So we'll probably watch this one based on weight, and again, it did come in at 4 grams. So this is the new eye primer that is in my shop my stash. I try and keep an eye primer in always because I remember the first year I did, like my first year of empties or something like that, I only had 1 eye primer in it, and I just find that your eyeshadow really does last longer when you're using a good eye primer and not a concealer. So there's that. The next item is something that's actually been in here for quite some time. I think this was rolled in at the very beginning, and this is the Ambient lighting powder by Hourglass in diffused light. It looks like this, and there is quite a bit of usage that's happened on this product since rolling it into the project in the beginning, and you'll see pictures here on the screen for that. It did weigh in when I first brought it in on the 1st of January at 0.8 ounces, and that is how I had been weighing it, and we didn't see any kind of movement in the amount of ounces that it weighed in at. So this time, when I weighed it, it's still weighed in at 0.8 ounces, but it's weighing in at 24 grams as of yesterday, and I think that you could probably see really well that there is quite a bit of usage on here. I know that the purple or the lavender tones in here is the pan underneath that product. So just looking at it, I can see that there is an awful lot of pan showing, and it's really thin in the areas that the pan isn't showing. So I do anticipate that this will continue to be an active part of my project pan, probably clear through, I would say September would be the soonest I will have this out of my collection. But I'm excited about the progress in that little piece of pie. The next thing in here also has been in since the beginning, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Mini Pillow Talk lipstick. This is what it looks like currently. I am wearing it on my lips today, and I have worn it only a few times since rolling it into this project. Honestly, it's just not a shade that I really like. I feel like it's a little bit too pinky nude for me rather than, you know, nude for me. So I don't feel like it looks super great on my skin tone, if I'm honest. But this one I never weighed in the past. I just had pictures that I took of it on a piece of notebook paper so you can see the lines where it was. Those pictures are still up here. You guys will still be able to see those. But I did weigh it this time, and I weighed it at 5 grams of product. So I'll be interested to see what it weighs in at next time. Hopefully we have a little more usage on it than we have in the past. So then another one that was rolled in fairly early in my project pan, I think in February by the first update, I had rolled this in. This is the Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in the shade Sin, and it doesn't look like it's been used a whole hell of a lot. If I'm honest, it was a pretty much full highlighter when I rolled it into this project, and my goal was just to hit pan on this, not to empty it, of course. But I'm not one of those people that centers my brush in one area just to hit pan. I am a swirler, so there's that. We're probably not going to see a whole lot of action in this. I do anticipate that this will probably be in my project pan until the end of the year, and then maybe we might have pan at the end. What I can see is that there was an area right up here where I had accidentally gouged it with my fingernail upon rolling it in, and that gouge mark is nearly gone at this point. So I do use it quite often, but not enough. Rolled it in, it weighed in at 1.7 grams, 1.7 ounces. It still weighs 1.7 ounces, but in grams that equated to 49 grams. So that's what this weighs. I know that we had rolled this in, and this is the Cargo Swimmables eyeliner in the shade Loch Ness, which, right? Is it Loch Ness? But it's just black. It's a black eyeliner, and I rolled it in when I finished up the It Cosmetics No Tug eyeliner. And this one I wanted to complete until you could no longer see the O, so sharpen it until you can no longer see the O, and this is where I'm at. I still have part of the G in there and then the whole O. I do believe that this probably will roll out of my collection, I would say probably around the September area. I do use black eyeliner almost every day, either in my waterline or my tight line, so I don't foresee this taking forever to get sharpened down to, and I do, because when I tight line, I do need it to be like a rather pointed tip, because it stresses me out to stick things in my eyes. So tight lining alone stresses me out, but I do almost sharpen it every single day. So this still has a little ways to go, but I do anticipate that this will be around September that we see it roll out of this project. So then we also have this Ciate London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I do believe I rolled this in the last update. And when I rolled it in the last update, it was right there when I rolled it in. And you can see I have used quite a bit of it. Here's what I have to say about this primer. Like, I really thought I liked this primer when I put it into the project pan, and I'm finding that I really don't. Like, I am using it. I do have it on today, but I find that sometimes it's very finicky, and sometimes if I don't wait like 10 minutes literally to put makeup on top of it. It will pill, and it will pill in the most unattractive way. And I get that it is a gripping primer. I have several gripping primers that do not do that to me. Today I waited for a good 20 minutes before I put makeup on my face. I've gotten into the habit of now, you know, putting on my serum, my sunscreen, my serum, my moisturizer, and as soon as that is, you know, good and sunk into my skin, I'll wait like 10-20 minutes. I'll prime my eyes, I'll, you know, go in the bathroom, I'll get my sponges damp, I'll, you know, do what I need to do to prep myself, and then I'll come back in and put this on my face, and then I'll do my eyes so that this has enough time to sink into my face before I'm putting foundation on my face. If I don't work it in that way, my foundation pills. So I did think I liked this when I put it in. It smells divine. I don't mind the smell of it. I do not like this primer. You have to wait far too long to put makeup on top of it, in my opinion, but I'm still using it. I'm still using it. It didn't weigh in as anything when we initially brought it in to the project because I could see the usage on it, but I did weigh it this time and it weighed in at 35 grams. I do have a second eyeliner in this project. When I'm not wearing the black eyeliner, I am typically wearing this eyeliner, and this is one of the oldest eyeliners in my collection as far as pencils go, so I really thought I needed to use it up, get it out of my collection. This is the Revlon Colorstay Retractable Eyeliner in brown, and I love these Colorstay eyeliners. For the longest time, they are the only eyeliners that I would wear in like my waterline because I feel like they stay there. They don't like meander into, you know, the inner corner of your eye and create nasty, you know, black or brown eye boogies, for lack of better words. But I have found that I also don't mind spending $21 on a higher end one that can do the same thing, only is nicer to my eyes. So I do have this one. If you're on a budget, this is a wonderful eyeliner. I love that it is retractable. I love that it buffs out super easy. I love that it doesn't immediately go on your, you know, your lash line and then like that's it. That's all she wrote. I do find that it wears away more quickly than some of my higher end ones though, which is why I don't mind buying the higher end ones. But this is eyeliner at the drugstore that I would repurchase over and over again. This is probably the 5th one of these Revlon Colorstays that I've had in my collection since starting to purchase makeup 5 years ago. This one again is an eyeliner, so I don't weigh it, but we watch the progress via the progress. The next thing would be this. This is the Alginas Color Correcting Eye Serum Brightener. It's called Reveal. I don't think that this rolled in last update, but it rolled in relatively soon after last update, and I honestly can't remember what product it replaced. I weighed it on 429 when I rolled it in, and it rolled in at 0.7 ounces. It still weighs 0.7 ounces today, but that equates to 21 grams, and it is rather halfway full from what I can gather. It does appear that it might actually be down here. It lays on its side often in the, you know, in the compartment that I have it in the everyday drawer. So it might look that way because of how it lays, but I think I don't use very much of that product when I do use it. And because I've confused myself so much with this project pan and how many products I'm going through, and because I'm using a lot of sample size items, I'm trying to get the products into this that are going to take me a little bit longer to finish so that I quit confusing myself, because I'm embarrassed coming to you guys today and how this is having to roll out. The next thing I have, and I think this rolled in after I was able to finish the Becca bronzer, this is my Hourglass Blush in Mood Exposure. So I am wearing this blush today. I just don't feel, I like dark. I like to see the blush on my face. I have, for reference, a light to medium skin tone that's very olive in complexion also, and this just doesn't show up on my face very well, so I just don't like it. And it's okay. It's okay. I know a lot of people that do love this blush. I just don't love it. So this is also a sample size, so I'm totally good with panning it, and it will also probably still last me 4 years after this project pan, and that's totally okay because blushes are the hardest thing to pan. What I find is that when I am using this product, I feel like I have to use an awful lot in order to be able to see it on my skin. I can see that there's been usage in here, just not a whole lot of usage, so you guys will be seeing pictures, but this did weigh in when I brought it in here on the 29th of April at 0.9 ounces. Today, that equated to 25 grams of product in this item in my project pan. The thought process is also trying to get through some of the hair product in my collection. I wanted to roll in also a hair product, so I did roll in this Aquaj Beyond Shine Shine Spray. This rolled in on the 21st of May, at 2.6 ounces. And when I weighed it yesterday, it weighed in at 73 grams. I forgot to get the ounce check on that, but we're starting, say, this month at this check-in with 73 grams of product in here. It's still really full. I hardly ever use it because I'm just not sure what a shine spray is, to be honest. I mean, it's not like it's a hairspray, right? It's not going to cause any kind of like stiffness to my hair and whatnot, and I don't typically use those kind of products in my hair anyways. So I'm really excited actually to use it and use it up. And again, it's got the orange marker so that, because it sits on my desk here, so that I remind myself to use it in this project. And then the last thing that I rolled in is the Murad Environmental Shield Vitamin C or Essential C Day Moisturizer, Broad Spectrum, SPF 30. I thought it was a good idea to put a moisturizer in here that has vitamin C, which I love, but also has SPF in it, which you need every single day. And that way I didn't have to use an SPF and a separate moisturizer. I would just have it in an all-in-one product. And the serum that I recently started using on my face is another Murad item. So I thought it would be great to partner with a Murad moisturizer. When I work through my skincare, I like to set it up in partners, pairs that I know will work well together because they're, you know, either the same brand, or I've looked it up and I can sell the items and know that they sell together, work well together that way. So that is the moisturizer that I have put into this project, and I just put it in today and it weighed in at 44 grams. I had used a little bit of it prior to rolling it into this project, so I did also mark it, so we'll be able to see how it's marked, but we'll also be able to see its weight. So with that said, that is my Project Pan update for the month. And for those of you who are unaware, I do my Project Pan updates one month, and then the next month on the same Friday, it's typically the second Friday of the month, I do a Shop My Stash rotation. So I'm doing an update every other month for each one of those two things. I find that it just works well for me, except for that I've confused myself with this Project Pan because I'm only updating it every other month instead of every month. So next year I might not do that, but we will see. Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that if you did, you're considering subscribing to my channel before you go. I hope that I didn't confuse you as much as I've confused myself, but are you guys doing a Project Pan? If you are, I would love to hear about how it's going for you. This year so far, I have emptied so many products. It's not even funny. I am going to update my sheet because my sheet is now full. These are all the products that I had emptied prior to starting this new book. And now my spreadsheet is a little bit full again. So I'm going to update that. I might update it into like an Excel document so I can keep better track of my life. I do typically work better through Excel, but I also like to write things down because I'm just that kind of control freak. So there's that. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that if you did, you're considering giving it a big thumbs up. If you liked it or liked me enough, I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go. I would love to welcome you into my family here, and if you do that, don't forget to hit the notification bell. It will notify you every single time I upload a video, and I would hate for you to miss anything. As far as everything else goes, that's it. That's all I got for you, cookies. So I hope that 2021 is treating you kindly. I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye.